As a 20-year-old, there are certain things in life that I do with a little flexibility and other things that I do with a lot of rigidity. College was certainly something that I did with a lot of flexibility, given the fact that I changed my major 5 times in less than 3 years. And I'm going into why I did that in this video. What is up, guys? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Day, and on this channel I talk about cybersecurity, cloud security, and other life stuff. So let's get into why I changed my major 5 times in less than 3 years. So I started college at 17 at a community college where I was initially majoring in cybersecurity. I did this for about a year before the pandemic hit. This was between 2019 and 2020, and if you know anything about 2020, you know that it was definitely a treacherous year for me and many other people. So 2020, I decided to then transfer to a community college that was much more closer to where I lived, because the college I went to for my first year of college was like about 50 minutes to an hour away from where I lived. So at this new community college, I started as a cybersecurity major, but decided to change to computer science. Why? Peer pressure. So I'd initially been interested in cybersecurity, at least from what you guys know and from the videos I do on this channel and my entire career trajectory, but I felt like I really wanted to learn how to code. It's pretty much why I became a computer science major in the first place. So I was like, I could have the cybersecurity skills, but I really want to be able to, program and all that fun stuff. So I felt like a computer science degree was going to be the right avenue for me to do that. So I could, learn how to code from school, and then I could, do all the other cybersecurity stuff on my own and learn all of that stuff. So I decided to take that approach. And I failed mercilessly at that because I sucked at math. And I still sort of do. My sister, on the other hand, is like really great at math, but I didn't get those genes. So I sucked at math. And as a computer science major, first semester, I failed my math class. It was a plain trigonometry class. It wasn't even pre-calculus. Plain trig, failed it first time, failed it second time, and the third time, right before I was about to fail it again, I decided to drop my major as a computer science, because if I was going to be able to be a good computer science student, I had to be good at math. And I didn't even make it to pre-calculus, calculus of calculus 1, calculus 2, calculus 3, discrete math, all of that. So if I had already failed math 3 times, then there was no way I was going to be a successful computer science student. So I was like, you know what? Scratch this. I'm obviously not cut out for this. So dropped computer science. And then this was towards the end of my community college journey, which is like, about 2 years. So in 2021, I immediately ended my computer science program at a community college because I was already working full time. And I was like, okay, you know what? I might have to drop out of school and just really focus on work because that's what really matters now. I'm gonna have the full-time job, so it is what it is. But somehow I found out about WGU. So when I found out about WGU, I was like, wow, this makes sense. This is super efficient. It makes sense. So I might as well do school the most efficient way possible, get my degree, and be over with it. So I enrolled in WGU, got accepted after a 3-month dropout period. So I started WGU as a network operations and security major on July 1st, 2021. So, did this because I felt like I wanted to get the CCNA. So at that time I was like, you know what, I think it'd be smart to get the CCNA, learn about all that networking stuff. But over time, I got to realize that, I really don't need the CCNA, and like it wouldn't be the right effort being dispersed in the right area. I would rather have spent my time learning other things that are related to cybersecurity and my role over spending a lot of time, really digging down into all of that Cisco stuff. And as a matter of fact, the cloud is becoming more prominent. So I was like, it would be a better effort spent if I were to go into cloud related stuff. So after the end of my 6-month term at WGU, which ended in December 2021, right? Keep in mind, this is my 3rd major. I decided to change to my 4th major as a cloud computing major at WGU. So did the whole process, got approved, got my major approved. But at January 1st of 2022, which is this year that I'm making this video, I got into the interview process for AWS, Amazon Web Services, and my current company I work at, which is Datadog. And I was like, oh, you know what? I think I might have to take some time off school so I can focus on these interviews, right? And, both opportunities were both cloud opportunities. So AWS was a solutions architect, and for Datadog was, a cloud detection engineer, which I work at right now. I was like, you know what? Let me focus on these interviews, get these things down. And then once this is all locked in, maybe I get the job or whatever, then I can go ahead and continue the cloud computing program. So this period started with a 3-month break. And after 3 months, I did the whole interview with AWS. I actually didn't get to the final round with AWS because I got my Datadog offer, and it was a lot more appealing than what I would have probably gotten from AWS. And also given the fact that AWS was not a cloud security role. So started at Datadog, and my 3 month break turned into 4 months, and then 5 months, and then 6 months. And I was liking this. I was loving what I was learning at Datadog, having fun with all these new technologies, working with really smart people, building out various detections for multi-cloud environments, not just like AWS or Azure or GCP, everything, and other like SaaS platforms as well. So this was fun for me. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should really just drop out of school, right? Like I have the dream job, right? Datadog is like sort of a dream job for me, right? So it's like I already work as a security engineer. I'm doing cloud security stuff. Do I really need the cloud computing degree anymore? Like, I'm either way, I like it or not, I'm going to learn all this cloud stuff, right, from my job, right? Because I have to learn stuff to do my job and get better at what I do because I do cloud stuff. So, anyways, after a lot of persuasion from my mother, who really wanted me to get my degree, right? So I'm Nigerian, and education is really, really important in immigrant households. So my mother was very, very concerned about me becoming a college dropout, which I quite frankly wasn't concerned about. So I decided to go back to school, and this time not as a cloud computing major. So my fifth time changing my major was to the Bachelor's of IT at WGU, which is the most efficient way to complete a information technology program out there, right? So I was like, you know what? My goal now is not to get, any sort of like experience or anything, right? I have the job that's going to give me the experience, and I have the ability to learn on my own to build the experience I really want. So I don't really have to rely on school to get me the experience I want. So what is the most efficient way to get a technology degree without spending too much time and also focusing on what really matters, which is my job? And it was the BSIT program from WGU, and I just completed that in November of this year. And yeah, that's my story of how I changed my major 5 times in less than 3 years of being in college. But the point of this story is to let people know that it's okay to be flexible with your decisions, especially when it comes to college and your career. If you have situations in your life that completely alter the course of what you initially planned, it's totally fine to change your mind about what you initially decided, right? Like I changed my mind 5 times, and anyone who knows me, who's really close to me, like my family, like my parents or my sister, they know that I'm very flexible with decisions. It's not really about being flaky or not being sure of yourself. It's about making the right decision at whatever point you find yourself in life, right? Because you might plan for the future, decide, oh, this is what I'm going to do, but life happens, things change, right? And being able to be flexible enough to align your current situation with what you need to do to be successful is totally fine. If I had decided to stay at the community college longer than I should have, I might have finished college way later. It might have impeded my ability to learn faster, become better at what I do, in cybersecurity. And it's not even really about the speed, it's more about the efficiency and being able to focus on the things that actually matter, which for me was my job and my full-time job as a security engineer or threat analyst whenever I was a threat analyst. So that's my story of how I changed my major 5 times before I graduated college. That being said, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.